Namaste, Jai Bharat. People do speak a lot of secularism. Rather, everyone claims to be secular. To that extent, in Bharat, all political parties want to be secular, especially the leftists. They speak a lot of being secular, secularism, etc. On a final analysis, one tends to get this understanding that to be against Hindu is what people propagate as secularism, which really can't be the case. Let's analyze the concept of secularism. What is it to be secular? There are two options right in front of you. That is, suppose you are an atheist, like the Marxists, the communists, they are supposed to be atheists, which they are not in reality, because they have nothing serious to do with Marx or Marxism in an ideal situation. What is it to be secular? They're supposed to be. The non-believers, that's the atheist kind of people. The communists are supposed to be atheists, that's why. The atheist kind of people have nothing to do with religion, or should have nothing to do with religion. So their kind of position or attitude should be that they keep all religions far from them. They keep all the religions at a distance. So in such cases, let's understand secularism as equal distance from all religions, to be honestly speaking. Let's understand the communist secularism as equal distance from all religions. That's one thing. Otherwise, of course, their secularism can't be really taken seriously because they're not supposed to care for any religions or faith system. For them, all these things are meaningless. So, why should they speak of being secular? Doesn't make much sense. On the other hand, ideally, what secularism ought to mean is that equal respect to all religions. Now let's understand this concept of equal respect to all religions. Who is able to respect all religions equally? Certainly, an atheist can't do it. Atheist can't do it because he is supposed to keep equal distance from all religions. So how can it speak of equal respect? But suppose you think about someone who is faithful, who holds some faith or one faith. And in case of Semitic religions, they would say, my faith is right. But there's a problem with them. They go to the extent of saying that my faith is right and your faith is not right. Someone goes steps ahead and say, my faith is right and your faith is wrong. No, it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. These religions, especially Islam and Christianity to some extent, they have many sects within them. Now, each sect will claim that theirs is the right kind of faith, and even within the same religion, a different sex faith is inappropriate to them. So, with such people, how can you speak of secularism? Because they are unable to. By default, they're incapable of respecting other faith as they respect their own faith. So, what the point here in talking about secularism? What's the point in one speaking of secularism? This, of course, we come to a situation that no one can be secular if this is the case. Equal distance from all religions is not possible because they have nothing to do with the religion. And if the distance, just because the distance from all religions equally, how can they speak of secularism? Number one. Number two, equal respect to all religion is not possible by these people who believe that my faith is right and your faith is wrong. How can they have respect to such faiths, other faiths, because they're theologically trained to say that your faith is wrong, mine is right, and the only faith which is right is my faith. With such thoughts held up, how can one be secular? No. What's the point of talking about secularism? Is there anyone really secular in this world given these points? There are. You talk about the Bharati Dharmas. I was only talking about Semitic traditions. Talk about the Bharati Dharmas. The Rigveda itself says, Egam Satvipra Bhavada Vadanti, which means there is only one truth, and scholars might speak about it differently. That's from the Rigveda itself. Now look at the Hindu kind of Hindu faith system. We have basically multiple faiths. The Hindus are multiple faiths. There are many deities. Many deities, and different deities are approached in different manner. The kind of rituals supposed to be done for different religions also vary. So here is a situation we come across that multiple faiths coexist. Multiple faiths do coexist. There are many deities and different deities. I need to take the name, and people even go to the extent of believing that there are 33 crores of gods and goddesses in small g, because the philosophy of Hindu Dharma speaks of one ultimate reality, of course, which is necessarily unknown given your mundane thoughts, etc., given Advaita Vedanta. So, there are multiple deities, many deities, and there are different varying ritualistic patterns to approach these many deities, where multiple faiths coexist. This is a point I would like to make. Multiple faiths do coexist. And once in Hindu Dharma, where multiple faiths do coexist, Hindu Dharma, Jain, Buddha and Sikh all the same, where multiple faiths coexist, we are able to respect every other faith. It's natural for such a dharma pattern in English you may call religion, which is very, very different from dharma, but for want of another word, multiple faiths do coexist. If under such situation, it becomes natural for one to respect all faiths. It's just natural for people to respect all faiths. So by default, the Hindus are supposed to respect all faiths because they themselves have multiple faith systems. So this is the only situation where one can really speak of secularism in an ideal situation, or in the proper sense of the term, in an appropriate manner. One can speak of secularism being a Hindu, but or being in any of the Bharatiya dharmas. So those who speak secularism are not entitled to speak of secularism. In Semitic tradition, you are not entitled to speak of secularism because you hold that view, I am right, you are wrong. But look who is the custodians of secularism. The first people, the Semitic tradition people, they become the custodians of religion. Very interesting. They are the custodians of religion. And they are the custodians of secularism. They speak of secularism. And they try to impose their kind of things on us. Learn from us. So, I am just trying to conclude just one point, that it's only a Bharatiya dharma person, or a Hindu, Sanatani, Jain, Buddha, etc., only they can afford to be genuinely secular because they're secular by default, while the Semitic ones can't be, given their theology. They have to say, I'm right, you're wrong. So till we meet with some other thoughts, till then, it's Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.